doesn't say
You
then. It says
just
and.
proved my.
What did he just say? What did he just say?
Bruh.
Repeat
Well,
it. Repeat it.
Repeat what you said.
You
And
were
don't
just
do the
screaming.
takia.
Listen.
Say it again. Say it again. What
Come
did you
on.
say?
When the word, so here's the thing, right? You gotta give some grammar. Okay. So when you put then, you're adding a timeline. When you put and, you're not adding a timeline. Do we agree?
What?
Repeat
Do you
that.
agree? Dude,
Repeat
when
that.
you put in a sentence, when you put the word then in a sentence, you're putting a timeline in the sentence. When you put and, hold on, when you put and, you're not putting any timeline. You're just saying what you've done more than
If
one.
you're describing a beginning and the end, that's the timeline.
No, listen. You're jumping. I just asked you a
That's
simple
what I'm
question.
saying.
Am I correct? When you put and, does and
Your
include
question
timeline?
has
Yes, because
nothing
the
to do
and
with
is within a timeline of a start and end.
Yes. And this happened.
You don't say and
that,
unless you have a start and
and
end.
this.
Sure. Let me ask you this, right? So if I say I have one son and one daughter, does that mean son came before daughter?
No, but that means that one of them, they were not born at the same
No!
time. That means
Oh
that they were
my
not born at the same time.
God.
There's a time frame. There's a
Oh.
timeline.
That's not the verse.
A start
What's
and
the
end.
time frame?
the
Tell us.
verse.
Of
It
course,
says there's a
time frame.
timeline.
Dude,
You had
no,
a son
Royal, stop.
and a daughter.
Royal, can I get 30
In a
seconds?
Can I have
timeline.
both at the
Please
same
get 30
time? Can I have
seconds.
twin children?
No.
Oh,
Give me
can I
30
have
seconds.
twins?
Kuby,
Dude,
Kuby,
that's funny. Like,
no. I'll give you
grammar?
30 seconds if you give
Come
me 30
on.
seconds. I'll
Go
give you
ahead.
30 seconds if you give me. Okay, what we're talking about is it doesn't matter if it says and or then, but if it's describing something, if it describes something happening and forming, that is describing a timeline. It says,
No,
wait,
listen
then
to
it
me,
says,
okay?
it says bone cartilage, then
It
muscle
doesn't
and
say
flesh.
that. It
Then
doesn't
flesh.
say
Yes, it
that.
does.
It
Yes, it
doesn't
does.
Okay,
say
fine. Let me
that.
read it. Let me read it.
Yes, it does.
I'm
That's
just
what
Hold
pulling
on.
up your translation.
No, I give you
This is your
30 seconds. Now
translation.
listen to me.
No.
Now,
This it
listen
hasn't
to
been
me.
30
See, you're
seconds. It hasn't
interrupting.
been
You're
30
interrupting.
seconds.
All right,
Nope.
almost. There you go. 30-second finish. Okay.
Nope.
Now,
Because
listen
you
to me.
cut off
It's
my time.
finished.
You're not gonna cut off my time.
When did I
Wait.
cut off, dude?
Okay, fine.
Just don't
Let me
be
read it one more time.
dishonest
Let me
at
read
this
it
point.
one more time. Then I'll give you a whole minute if you let me give me.
No, but
Okay, fine.
that's not the rule. That's not. You said 30 seconds. I
Okay.
don't need 1 minute.
Then
So just let me respond now. Just listen for a second, okay? You're having a weak comprehension. So here's the thing, right? The Quran talks about things happen, right? And it used the word and. Okay, so it's the
that's
same thing
describing
as
a
God says.
timeline.
Hold on. You're right. In some
You're
timeline,
right.
God did.
You're right.
God did
Thank you.
create.
That's it. You don't need to explain. You said you're
Again, let
right.
me finish. Again,
It's
let
a
me finish.
timeline.
No, let him finish. Let him
Again,
finish.
let me finish. Right. Of course, whatever happens, I'm talking in a timeline. Correct? Right? But in a sentence, when it used the word and, it is not adding any timeline, giving a specific details of a timeline. Right?
We never said
Of course,
specific
there was-
details of a timeline. We were
course-
just describing a timeline in
no,
general.
You said there wasn't
listen,
a timeline.
You're making a claim. You're making a claim that
No.
the lump and bones, they were created first. Then it was covered with flesh.
Because
right?
it describes bones
So,
first.
let me
That's
finish.
describing it.
And it says then in the
Let
Arabic
me finish.
through the tool you
Let
told
me
me to
finish.
do.
Let me finish. Right. So if it doesn't say then, right, and it says and, so it could be both. Either the flesh and bone first or the
No,
lump.
it
It could be any of that because it's
Wait.
not
So
specifying
let me.
the time.
Okay, fine. Let me give you an example. Let's say this.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay.
Let's say I'm describing building a car. Okay. Let's say this.
But hold on, just
Wait.
relax.
No.
okay?
No, hold on.
I'm
Listen to
just
him.
saying.
No,
I'm
hold on.
listening.
We let you do a
I'm
bunch of
listening. I'm just
examples.
saying, say slow. I'm just saying, say slowly.
fine.
Chill. I'm having
Okay.
no problem.
Okay,
You don't have to
fine.
be emotional. Yeah,
Okay.
just take it
Okay,
easy, bro.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm describing building a car. Now listen.
Mhm.
I create the skeleton of the car and I create and then I create the doors and engine.
You're putting
And
then again.
is the timeline that means
You're putting
later
then. You just
on.
put then.
No,
You just
he
put
didn't.
then.
He said the then because the Quran says the then in the Sahih International for the beginning part where it says lump.
Yeah.
And
But
engine,
for the covering,
and
it does say then according to
and-
Sahih, whichever one you want to say.
And hold up,
Okay,
and I
okay.
create the engine, and I create the steering wheel. That's
Yeah, you
describing a
create all of
chronological time frame. Okay,
Let's
this
see
is
time.
that's hold up. It's describing a skeleton first, then an engine, then a door, then this. Right now I'm
Okay,
using then.
okay.
I'm not saying
Can you
then
create
isn't.
okay, listen. How about this, right? Let's use it with the same example that you gave, right? You have the car skeleton, and then you have an engine, correct? I say I created the car skeleton, and I created the engine. How are you gonna prove me that I'm saying I created the skeleton first? Because I didn't say it. So how are you gonna prove that I created skeleton first?
Can I please answer this?
Because that's how building a
Can I
car
please answer
works,
this,
not
Yawa?
how building a human
Exactly,
works.
Can I
you're right,
answer
because
this?
A
that's how it
human is
usually
different from
works.
a
Can I answer
car.
this, dude?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
go
how
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay,
how we
ask me that
already
question.
know.
Ask me that question, Kuby. Ask me that question. What you
Solo,
just
come
asked
over
him.
here.
Ask me
Solo,
the
come over
question.
here. Farfax,
Okay.
Farfax, and Solo, come over here.
Kuby, ask me the
Oh,
question.
okay. So if I say, let's say I created a tire, car's tire,
Mhm.
and I created the car's engine, right?
Mhm.
So what do I mean by that? Did I put any timeline? Did I told you when I created the tire? Did I create the tire first or the engine first?
I'm gonna answer, but I'm gonna tell you
Mm-hmm.
when I'm finished answering, so that you don't cut me off. Fair?
Well, if you're not dodging the topic, maybe if
I'm
you're
I'm
just
not.
explaining random things,
In
then
that
sure, go ahead.
in that scenario you gave me, there
Uh-huh.
is a timeline, but there is no
Of course.
chronological order. But that's not what
Exactly.
the Quran says. It says then in the Quran. So it's a false
Okay.
analogy. It's a false
So
analogy.
okay,
The Quran says
okay,
then.
cool. Now we're getting somewhere. Now you're gonna prove me where it says then between the
Yeah,
where
I
it says
used the
the
method you
lamb, the
provided.
bones, and
Yeah, I used the
we
method you
created.
provided. You told
And then
me.
so
You
that's what
told
I
me.
want you to hold on. That's what I
Okay.
want you to do now. Okay, look for the exact word fasakuna which you just mentioned, right? Just copy that word. Go to Google Translation if you want to use that, right? Put it there and see if you get then. If you get it, good for you.
Kubi, what I did now is I did the method you told me.
Just do what
I'm
I
telling
did.
you,
Just do what
dude.
I
I'm telling you
told
the
you.
results. I already did it.
No, don't
Already
tell
did
me.
it.
Don't tell me.
Already did it.
Go translate it now.
Already did. I did this.
Yeah.
You said earlier, go to Quran.com, then hover the Arabic, and when you hover over each letter or each word, it will tell you the word accurately translated. And I did that. It says,
Not
then we
in grammatic.
created
Not
the
in
semen
grammatic.
drop
Quit
in
interrupting.
a clinging
It
substance.
says
Then we created the clinging substance, an embryonic lump. Then we created the embryonic lump into bones. Then we clothe the bones with flesh. Then we produce
okay.
it. That's what the
Give me
method you
the
told me to do did.
word. Okay. Hold on.
So
I'm
your
asking you one
method,
more
you're
time,
changing your
okay?
method, right?
Hold on. I'm just asking you a simple question. It's not my method or his method, right? Just go for the word where it says then. Copy the word. Go to Google Translation. See if you get it.
Is it true that when reading a sentence, if you have a specific word and you take that away from the sentence and strip it from its context, it changes the grammar?
It is.
True.
It could change the
Yes.
grammar.
Therefore,
over here
I
for
will
a
use the
second.
Quran.com website millions of Muslims use, and the one you told me to go to, and do the
So
method you said
so when
earlier,
you go
and I
for
will use those
the
results. That's all I'm gonna do.
yeah,
You're
so it
telling me
could
to do
no,
something.
no, no.
I'm not
Listen,
gonna do.
that's not what I told you to do, right? So
You
that's
said
how
that
it works,
earlier.
right? When you have a translation of the Quran, right? It
You did
translated
not say that?
according to the listen,
No, because I don't
when
want
it
you to jump away from it.
when it
You did not say
listen,
to
I'm
do
not
that earlier.
now you can listen to me for a second, right? Once
I
you
don't
have the
want to hear
words,
lies.
right? You click on the word, and then we get the translation, which is translated by the context of some scholar, right? That could be
Listen,
wrong.
you
So
told me to do that.
what I told you to do, right, is copy the word, get the word, and I already told you how the and then works, right?
Dude,
It's the word
I'm
wa,
trying to
which
tell
you're not
you.
getting.
You're not getting. If you take a
Look
specific
for it.
word away from its
Look for it.
sentence, you strip it from its context, therefore the grammar changes.
If the
I did the
no
method you ascribed to him.
it doesn't. Listen,
Let
if
me
the
finish
word is
speaking, dude. He's
connected,
cutting me
You
off.
if the
just
word
said
is
it
connected,
does.
You just cut me. He just
huh?
cut me off. Can you tell him to stop
I
talking real quick?
said
I'm trying to say something.
Yeah, dude. If you all right, dude, quit
You
interrupting.
prescribed Yawa here. This is how you
Mhm.
find the accurate translation without going to a false translation. You go to
Okay.
Quran.com, you read the Arabic on top of the translations, you click on each word, and then it will give you a
Get the
pop-up
word.
telling you the accurate translation. Then you will know the accurate translation. Yawa, did he or did he not say that?
Yes.
When I did that, it actually says
That's
then.
not what I
Therefore,
said.
let's now argue
That's what
with the
you
then.
said. All right,
No,
dude.
that's not what I
Kuby,
said. Let me
Kuby,
just,
come back with a better argument. Come back
Yeah,
with
come
a
back with
better
a better
argument.
argument. Bye bye.
Come back in
Sure,
10 minutes.
Bye-bye.
sure,
I
if
give you
you're,
10
Bye
minutes.
bye. Bye
He's
bye.
on 10.